Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Pash On Podcast. Let's get started with your host, Brian Pash.
Hi, this is Brian Pash, and welcome to another podcast episode. On today's show, I have my good friend Aaron Bickert. He's the EVP General Manager at OfferLogic. Aaron, welcome to the show.
Hey, Brian, how you doing? I'm looking forward to having this great podcast with you, and thank you for having me.
Well, anybody who's listening to this episode is going to be blown away with some breaking news. This podcast is timed to release with some other news, breakthrough opportunities for dealers and OEMs powered by OfferLogic. But we're going to get to that in a minute. Aaron, let me open up today's conversation. You're at the heart of a modern retailing movement, powering many digital retailing platforms. But, you know, the word digital retailing gets thrown around, maybe different things to different people. When you hear the term digital retailing, or if someone asks you, hey, Aaron, is digital retailing the future of automotive? How do you respond?
Well, Brian, that's a great question. You know, digital retailing or modern retailing today has been here for a long time. But reality is it's come to the forefront of where we are today in society, and COVID's spearheaded that. But reality is, you know, virtual vehicles, people are online shopping for cars. You know, they're spending hours, 18, 20 hours, 40 hours going to multiple websites, you know, 12 to 13, 14, 15 websites. So the customer experience needs to be completely frictionless and transparent. And the modern retailing part of it needs to be completely consistent from all the different avenues that a consumer can today shop for a vehicle or a truck. And what happens today is it's inconsistent. And what I always say to these modern retailers and consistent is that we all need to team up together and figure out a way to have a consistent marketing as well as a consistent transactional modern retailing or digital retailing solution that the consumer has a great customer experience. And that's what I always talk about today.
You know, Aaron, you hit on something that really came to light at our last conference in the Napa Valley. And when you look at the inventory shortage, MSRP or MSRP plus pricing, it seems in some cases dealers have even taken a step back because they don't want to show that they're charging over MSRP online. And so with the reality of inventory shortages, with the reality of the current market state, I've been telling dealers at least you should have a connected retailing experience, that whatever you show online is the same in the store. Whatever tools you're using online are the same in the store. So the consumer doesn't feel it's bait and switch. So the consumers see that the work that they did online is continuing. Do you see that maybe in our current market conditions that that's a better step forward than trying to force dealers to do everything online?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think that the showroom experience and the online experience needs to be completely consistent or equal to each other, because consumers don't want to be bait and switched when they go into the dealership. Number one. Number two is, I mean, if you think about Amazon or you think about any other retailer out there like Walmart that has box stores like or Kohl's or Target or whatever. If you go online to one of their websites and you want to buy a pair of shoes or buy a pair, clothes or whatever it is, if the pair of shoes are $99, when you walk in, on the rack, it still says $99. It doesn't say, $109 or $110 because we have to pay for rental space and electric here. So yeah, everything needs to be consistent across all the different mediums that the dealerships are advertising on, as well within their digital retailing platform. And that's hard to do just because all the different partners and vendors don't communicate with one another. And they're also, all the dealers has multiple vendors that they're working with. So, that's why I think a personalized experience for each one of our consumers is vital in today's marketplace.
And you mentioned something that oftentimes is neglected in the modern retailing proposition, this idea that the marketing and the payment shown that are personalized to the consumer can be replicated on the dealer's website and replicated in the showroom. I've had a number of conversations with over the years with the Team Velocity leaders, David Boyce or Joe High, talking about, their belief that penny perfect payments personalized to the consumer's credit needs to be extended to marketing. How's OfferLogic helping power that consistent experience, which is that direct mail piece they get, that email that they get, the Google ad that they see, the website experience, and then being able to recreate those things in the store?
Yeah. That's a great question. Team Velocity is one of our clients for sure, but we also do it for other partners too as well. So the way it works is really simple. We have a single call API that the partner of ours calls in with an inventory feed. And we return them back all the lease and finance calculations, all within one single call. We have a patent on it. And it automatically comes back with the lease payment of, let's say, 24 months, 36, 39, or 42 months, and a finance payment of, let's just say, 48, 60, 72, and 84, just to be simplistic. And then from there, the partner will take that API feed and map it into all their marketing needs that they have. Or they're deploying through email, mail, digital ads, video, Facebook, TikTok, whatever it is, social media, and then ultimately onto a dealer's website that is completely mapped out with that same API. So one of the advantages of working with OfferLogic is that you can take our API and use it across multiple use cases that you're currently working with that you're deploying for your advertising, or onto the website and out to the digital retailing platform. But ultimately, the personalized experience, and this is why we teamed up with Equifax. One of the things is, we call it penny perfect payments, but now we call it credit perfect payments. And Equifax has now given us the power to be able to take a soft credit pool, which doesn't hurt the consumer inquiries or anything, actually doesn't do anything. And we're able to take that inquiry and provide a real-time FICO score that let me repeat this, that we, OfferLogic, automatically append the FICO score immediately within that same API return, in that same patent and single call API return, back to the partner, so they can provide a credit perfect payment with no problem whatsoever. They don't have to make another call. We do it for them. And the consumer gets a personalized experience right on the website. So, if they're looking at any vehicle, it automatically comes back exactly what they need and with the exact tier that they have from those lenders or captives, and ultimately gives the best customer experience possible.
So Aaron, credit score really is maybe I could say one of the biggest factors, or maybe the biggest factor that influences a monthly payment. Are there some tools out there that are kind of bypassing that important step and more estimating it? When we talk on this conversation as credit perfect payments, we've heard penny perfect for long. That's the first time I'm hearing credit perfect payments. Are there other tools that are estimating what that is because they don't want to do a hard pull? Tell me this difference, because I love the idea that this is a kind of real-time API update that helps really create that perfect credit payment.
Yeah. So let me step back a couple feet here. So reality is most digital retailing platforms or modern retailing or advertisers, they always go to market with tier 1 score. So let's just say a 750 FICO score higher. And that typically qualifies you for the best interest rate, best money factor, best residuals, best whatever it is within the programs that the lender or captive is offering. So now with Credit Perfect Payments, we're able to take a soft credit pool, not a hard pool, a soft credit pool through Equifax. And the soft credit pools have lots of advantages. First of all, it puts no inquiry for the consumer on their credit report. Number two is all we need is a 5-liner, first name, last name, address, maybe a social security number, but reality, we don't need all that, or a phone number. And in real time, we can provide a credit score back, a FICO score back. Let's just say they go to market at 750, they see a tier 1 credit score, automatically will return back, let's just say 720 or a 695. Because one thing, Brian, that you got to remember is you have a credit score, I have a credit score. Every credit score is unique to the individual. So everybody everyone's credit dictates what their monthly payment is going to be. Now, you might have a great credit score, an 800, but for me, for an example, I'm going to pick on myself. I might not. I might have missed a couple payments on a mortgage payment. I might have missed an electrical payment, and my credit score could be a 695. And ultimately, I qualify for a tier 3, which is a higher interest rate, a higher money factor, and ultimately, the payment will be higher for me because I'm more risk than a Brian Pash would be.
Yeah, it makes sense, and I love the fact that we're moving forward with the ability to actually transact online, because we're really getting down to the nitty gritty. I think if you look back, Aaron, and you've been at this a while, we started with stupid payment calculators on the website, and people thought that was amazing. And then it was estimates, you're right, with Perfect Credit. And it's really amazing how we're enabling consumers to really see the affordability of vehicles online. But there's a little twist in the online retail space that OfferLogic is announcing today. And let me set the stage for this announcement. Recently, the Biden administration signed the Inflation Reduction Act, which changed the way in which EV credits, both at the state and federal level, will be handled. They are tiered based on different income levels. So different bands of income get different rebates. People making over $300,000 a year, I think in the current draft, would not qualify. But these credits can transactionally come right off the deal, or depending on whether it's a finance coming off the price or if it's a lease, a cap cost reduction. This is going to really be important for dealers to get it right, seeing that EV credits have to be included in digital retailing calculations. Aaron, what has OfferLogic brought to market today?
Yeah, well, first of all, we're very excited about this opportunity. As you know, the electric vehicles throughout the United States is a massive push by the Biden administration, and of course, the world become more electrified. And one of the big things been going on is having federal and state tax credits. So we got together as an organization to put an API together, and we want to announce that we now have within our calculation solution, or as a standalone, either way. We now have all the federal and state tax credits that qualify for every vehicle within the United States. And that can range from $7,500 down to $2,500, depending on the federal and things. But let me tell you how it qualifies. Why is it so important? Is because when you lease a vehicle, let's just say $7,500 is what you qualify for. You can use that as a cap cost reduction, and that comes right off the price of the vehicle, and you can save, and that would save you, anywhere, about $20 to $25 for every $1,000. So that might save you $225 to $250 off your monthly payment immediately on a lease payment. So imagine, the savings that can happen there. Then let's take to the finance side of things. In today's world, or in the old world, the federal tax credit for finance was a tax credit that you had to take off on your tax return at the end of the year. But now they have switched it. Now you can take that. Let's say you qualify for $7,500, and you can now use that as a down payment, just like a rebate. So imagine buying an electric vehicle and had a $1,500 rebate on it, plus a $7,500 tax credit. All of a sudden now you qualify for $9,000 return on a $50,000 vehicle. So now you're buying that vehicle for $41,000, and you can do that right at the dealership versus waiting, a full year to get your tax credit. The other piece of the puzzle is we have it all done by make, we have it done by model, we have it done by battery size, because that's important too. Battery size is also another piece of the puzzle for federal and state tax credits. And then we also have it done by household income that you just talked about, Brian, because not everyone's going to qualify. A single person filing solo up to $150,000 a year will qualify for the full federal tax credit. But in a household tax return up to $300,000 might qualify for the full tax credit. But reality is we need to make sure that it's completely appended within our calculation solution. So that way, again, I'm always going to talk about the customer experience. The customer experience is key to everything that we do. And that's our vision here at OfferLogix, is the customer experience. So not only do we have the EV federal and state tax credits in real time, let me repeat that, in real time, in milliseconds, it automatically calculates the payment back. But now we also have the credit score with a soft credit pool that automatically gives the correct tier, the correct interest rate, the correct money factor. And then we automatically append that back into the calculation, all within milliseconds. So it ultimately provide a one-stop shop almost for our digital retailing platforms as well as our advertising agencies.
Man, that is so exciting. And honestly, Aaron, I will tell you, until we sat down today and reviewed the notes, I never even thought about it. I honestly, I tried to keep ahead of these things, but I haven't asked one digital retailing platform provider, hey, do you have real-time EV credits being able to be calculated according to the new rules? Obviously, this is a relatively new thing, but I love how you got ahead of this because, well, I think it's a big political issue. EV, obviously, there are some people who feel we don't have the infrastructure and that we're forcing one evil to another evil, like trying to get rid of batteries. Bottom line is, this is a political discussion. This is practical. How are we going to serve consumers who want to purchase a vehicle, want their payments to reflect these credits? And that is a big, big breakthrough. I would also think, Aaron, that in addition to your partners, as the OEMs go to market with their own websites, providing more transparency and payments and stuff, that this API could be very valuable on the national portals as well.
Oh, for sure. It definitely be valuable on the national portals. We haven't approached any of them at the current moment. But we do have a couple marketplaces that are going to be ingesting the data immediately. So the good news is, once I think these marketplaces go live, which should be, I would say, in the October timeframe, I think it's the OEMs will follow suit. As you know, some OEMs are a little bit behind the times, and some are definitely fast, ahead of the times. But I think once these large marketplaces take our API and put it onto their platform, I think we'll be ready to rock and roll with the OEMs.
That is awesome. Aaron, as we close our conversation today and understanding the importance of creating that amazing customer experience, I'm thinking now also that it's really going to be important for dealers not only to show these new EV credits seamlessly on their website, but dealers are going to need to be asking their desking tool vendors or whatever products they're using in the showroom, hey, are you using the OfferLogix feed? You know what I'm saying? I was thinking, the marketing can be fine, and you power a lot of DR tools, but I'm wondering how many dealers are using desking tools or other things that wouldn't have this information.
Oh, well, you hit it right in. I didn't want to get the cat out of the hat too fast, but yeah. So we've been talking to a bunch of desking solutions out there, and they all want it. But they have some of them are on different priorities that they currently are working on. But I can definitely tell you there is one very large desking solution that we are going to be integrating with. And just the API for the EV, they have their own calculation solutions. They have all their own data. But I can tell you, they want the EV API for the federal and state tax credits, and I assume that would be live by mid-November, if not sooner. But they just got to work through a couple other priorities before it goes live. But you are right on the hat. And I would say this desking solution is probably the largest desking solution in the United States today. And they're ready to rock to get it going.
Well, and that's a good clarification because the EV federal and state credits API is separate, can be purchased separately than the payment calculation engine. And I think that's an important distinction because, well, obviously you've already thought ahead that, people have either built, for example, using your technology, their own, payment tools, or maybe they're using another solution. But this is the first I've ever heard of this. So this could absolutely be an integration priority for all desking solutions who want to take advantage of these new rebates and credits from the Inflation Reduction Act. So that's an exciting piece. And I'm glad, Aaron, that you separated the two because I think that will maximize the impact to the industry.
For sure. Because some people have built their own. Some people don't, they might buy from somebody else. But reality is everyone's going to need the EV federal and state tax credit because it's just so complex. I'm going to use that word complex because of household incomes, battery size, make, model. The car has to be built in the U.S. There's lots of different things there, and it has to be updated in real time. So we built it to sell separately. And that's the way we're going to market. But the other thing is with the credit score stuff too, as well. We also built that separately too. So it can be completely integrated into our platform, or you can buy that separately as well. Brian, I'm going to say it at the end of this podcast, and I hope people are listening. Our goal is to disrupt the industry a little bit with the credit score, with Equifax, and go to market a little bit differently than the other people selling soft credit pools today, as well as the EV. So our goal is to disrupt the market like we did with the API, the regular calculation API, API logics. So our goal is to disrupt the market in multiple ways.
Well, it appears, Aaron, that your vision is now a reality. You told me a month ago you were working on something big, and I am so glad that you decided to share it with us as you release your announcement to the public markets. Aaron, if a dealer group or technology platform provider wanted to learn more about your APIs and how they may leverage them, we know more and more dealer groups are building their own tech. What is the best website or best email? What's the best way for them to reach out and get connected with your team?
Yeah, the best way to connect with us is just go to offerlogics.com. And we have everything going to be listing there. The other piece is, or you can reach out on LinkedIn and just look for me, Aaron Bickert on LinkedIn. And you can private message me on LinkedIn and I'll definitely get back to you. But the big thing I want to make sure, Brian, you understand is we don't really sell to dealer groups too often. We do have one major dealer group ingesting our API today. But our goal really we sell B2B. So we sell to partners and vendors that serve the dealers because
that's right.
So yeah, we try not to sell to dealers because we don't want to be in competition selling to tier 3. But if a large dealer group did come to us, just say, which we have, that have well over 100 rooftops, we would sell to them. But reality, that's not our goal. Our goal is to go B2B.
Yes, and I mentioned dealers because oftentimes dealers hear about new things on our podcast, and they want to connect their technology providers, their desking solutions, their DR tools. And I think you're going to get a lot of inquiries about these new strategies to provide a frictionless experience for consumers, especially those who are purchasing EVs. For everyone who's listening today, if this is the first time you're listening to this podcast, you should know that there are dozens of interviews that really showcase the innovations, the breakthroughs, the disruptors in the automotive industry. And I encourage you to listen to those podcasts on Apple Podcast Channel, Google Play, SoundCloud, or on Libsyn, Libsyn. You can go to my direct channel, brianpash.libsyn.com. And also keep in mind that in November, in just a few months, the Modern Retailing Conference will be held in Palm Beach, Florida, November 13th, 14th, and 15th. OfferLogix will be there. You're going to want to talk to their team. And keep in mind that this year there are 5 educational tracks. This conference has been expanded to serve the entire dealership community. We have a track on sales process. We have a track on marketing. We have a track on the new Google Analytics 4. We have an HR track and a creative track, which will be led by Paul Daly. This is an expanded conference to capture the needs of dealers as they develop their Modern Retailing Conference. You can sign up at modernretailingconference.com. Aaron, I look forward to seeing you and the OfferLogix team in November at MRC. And for everyone who's listening today, I look forward to spending time with you again on another podcast session.